Hi, my name's Ian Straley, and this is Rusty Rain, a sci-fi story world targeted for a teen audience. Rusty Rain is a story kind of like Detroit Become Human meets Blade Runner. The way Rusty Rain is different from both Detroit Become Human and Blade Runner is that, unlike both, Rusty Rain's robot characters were all human at one point and were killed or tortured for their DNA, not really giving them that full emotional appeal, unlike those other shows and video games. Here we have, here we start off with our main protagonist, Rat. Rat Rat is a leader with a soft spot for his friends, but overall is a distrusting guy due to his upbringing. Then we have Jake, a young adult who was raised by a clone of his biological father and a real mother. Jake is a secret robot sympathizer, and due to his family's relation, his family fell under robot control and his mother is being tortured. But besides that, we have Septo, a humanoid robot that has the mind of a deceased child. Then finally, we have Dante, a cyborg and a human sympathizer who is super loyal to Rat and Jake and his friends. Starting off our story, we have our first part. We have Rat, Jake, and Dante out on an expedition for Vice City. During this expedition, they run into a crash plane full of supplies from the armed Continental Forces in the past and run into a human-like robot on its last legs, and that robot had the name Septo. Soon, just as Jake and Dante discovered this, there was an ambush from the robot army. Knowing they all could be wiped out, Jake stuck a memory USB wiper into Septo and had Dante use his ability to jam the radars of those robots. This gave them enough time to lie low and use Septo better for their expedition. Using Septo's radar and locator, they found an EMP nuke the size of Manhattan. As soon as the group discovered this, they went straight to Vice City, back to where they live, and told the remaining war scientists about their discovery, where they were quick to move it. But soon after this discovery, by a few weeks, they used an excuse, or as a final straw, they exiled the whole entire team. Whether it was out of fear or hunger, they never were able to find out, but they were exiled from Vice City. During this exile, Septo's VPN was compromised by the mercenary leader of Citrus, Rado 12. Rado 12 passed along this information to the head robot leader of Zerto Zero. Rado 12 was soon then paid to go after them and sent countless robots and cyborgs after them to collect his bounty for the price he was getting paid by Zero. Then, as soon as it started, Rado failed to collect his bounty, only leaving Zero and his army to deal with the group of misfits. Rado knew it wasn't going to be easy to find them, and Zero knew it was just as hard to capture them, but he knew of someone who was a sympathizer within their group. Then, soon came the betrayal. Jake threw his friends under the bus to save his parents from robot slavery and turned on them so the robots could capture them and scan their brains for information on the bomb they left back all the way in Vice City. They Jake left them there in their exosuits fighting off robots as hard as they could. But then Septo was able to do something unprecedented at this time, was able to blend into the army and turn off their main power grid, disabling all cyborg electronics and all full robots. That then left Jake, and that also left Rat, and it left Dante to fight the main boss, Zerto, the main villain of the story, and was able to defeat him while he was vulnerable due to the power grid's power being fully shut off. This came as a victory to all of humanity and all all friends throughout the story, but there was one downside. It left Septo unable to be Septo anymore. And and as soon as Septo turned off that grid, he was no more. But on the floor was left a USB labeled Septo. It told the crew why, he was there and why he was on that plane. And it said, "Save humanity." Septo was the key to the nuke all along, and as he perished, the EMP exploded, giving rise back to humanity and bringing the world back to what it was. That is the story of Rusty Rain.